So let's have a look at question. So the first question over here, it says that, so we have question number 1. It says you are to evaluate this the surface integral of the vector f dot with vector n ds, where the vector f is equal to yz I cap plus zx j cap plus xy k cap, and S is that part of the surface of the sphere x square plus y square plus z square is equal to 1, which lie in the first octant, right? So this is the question. So that means we are to calculate the surface integral over the part of this sphere. So for that, we can have this sphere as the function phi x, y, z. So this is equal to the sphere. So it would be x square plus y square plus z square minus 1. So this is our given surface. Right. Now what we are to do in order to calculate this integral, we are to f is given to us, we are to calculate this unit vector. So what would be this unit vector and how can we calculate that? If you remember, the gradient of any function phi, that give you the direction which is perpendicular to the given surface. So here n vector, what is that? N vector is the unit vector perpendicular to the given surface, right? So therefore, in order to calculate vector n, we will calculate what is gradient of phi, such that your n vector, that would be equal to gradient of phi, that means the vector which is perpendicular to the surface, divided by its magnitude. Why we are dividing by magnitude? Because this is the unit vector, right? Direction is obtained using this gradient phi, and in order to make it a unit vector, we will divide it by its magnitude. So here gradient phi would be calculated by calculating del phi by del x I cap plus del phi by del y j cap plus del phi by del z k cap. So accordingly, we will have, when you take its derivative partially with respect to x, it would be 2x, right, I cap as such. When you take its derivative partially with respect to y, we have 2y j cap plus 2z k cap. So this is our gradient of phi. Now next step is to compute this n cap vector. So this n cap vector is obtained when you divide this gradient of phi with its magnitude. So the vector here is 2i cap plus 2y cap, 2y j cap plus 2z k cap divided by the magnitude. So magnitude is obtained when you take the square root of 2x whole square plus 2y whole square plus 2z whole square. So this is equal to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by the square root of x square plus y square plus z square. Now notice that what is your given surface? The given surface is x square plus y square is equal to z square plus z square is equal to 1. So that means we now have this quantity x square plus y square plus z square, that is equal to 1. Therefore, this n vector, that now becomes equal to x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap divided by square root of 1. So this implies your n vector, that is x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So this is our n unit vector. Now in order to calculate our integral, we are to calculate this quantity, the given vector f dot with the unit vector n. Now what is the given vector f? The given vector f is this quantity, right? So here we can write down the value of vector f, that is equal to yz I cap plus zx j cap plus xy k cap. This is vector f dot with this vector n. So this is xi cap plus yj cap plus z k cap. So now you know how to take this dot product. So dot product is obtained as when you multiply this term with this term. So you have xyz plus xyz plus xyz. So this is equal to 3xyz. So this is the quantity vector f dot with unit vector n, right? So now first of all, let me draw this given sphere. So this is our coordinate axis. Say this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. This is origin. Now, if what is the equation of sphere that is given to you? X square plus y square plus z square is equal to 1. Okay, so the sphere here is given by the equation x square plus y square plus z square is equal to 1. So if that means this sphere has radius equal to 1, right? So we can draw this sphere. That means we will first draw a circle here in the xy plane having center at origin and radius as 1. So this is the circle, and corresponding to this circle, our sphere in the first quadrant, it would look something like this, right? So this is our sphere. Now on this sphere, because we are to take the surface integral in the first octant only, so that means if we take the small portion of the surface, it would be something like this, right? So we have to take its projection onto this xy plane. So for taking its projection here, what we will do, we will draw the lines which is perpendicular to the surface onto this xy plane. So it would be something like this. So you will have this as this, right? So this is the projection of the given. Now here this is the curvy portion, and when you take its projection, it is now the plane portion here, right? So you can see this difference. Now what is this? This small portion here represents ds, right? And the small portion here, that represents dx into dy. Small displacement in x into the small displacement in y, right? So therefore you have the value of your integral as the orthogonal projection of the surface S on xy plane is given by the region R, which is bounded by the circle, x square plus y square is equal to 1. Now this is the equation of this particular circle, right? And the plane z is equal to 0. So this is the projection. So we can write the integral, surface integral f vector dot with n vector ds as the double integration over this projected region R of the function f vector dot n vector. Now here it is dx dy and divided by n cap dot with, now here z is missing, so accordingly we will write k vector here. So we have computed this value. It was equal to this 3xyz. So we have integration over R 3xyz dx dy divided by dz. So this would be, this z and z would cancel, so this would be 3 integration over R of x y dx dy. So the next step is to determine these limits here. So the limits here would be for this particular quantity, right, for the given sphere. So now because we are given sphere, so we can shift from the Cartesian coordinates to the polar coordinates. Why? Because it would be more easy calculations if we shift to these polar coordinates. And do you know what is the relationship between them? So in polar coordinates, your x coordinate is written as r cos theta and y is written as r sin theta, and the corresponding quantity dx dy, that is equal to the Jacobian of changing from xy to dr d theta, and the value of Jacobian here in this case is r. So this is r dr d theta. So we have all these quantities, and moreover, if you see for this particular sphere, here r starts from here and go up to here. So the value of r here is 0 and the value of r here is 1, and moreover the angle theta, that varies from this initial line, because we are only taking it for the first quadrant. So this initial line where the value of theta is 0 to this initial line where the value of theta, that is equal to pi by 2. So you have the limits of r varying from 0 to 1 and of theta varying from 0 to 2 pi, not 2 pi, sorry, pi by 2. Therefore your integral, the surface integral f dot n cap ds is now equal to 3 times r varying from 0 to 1, theta varying from 0 to pi by 2, r cos theta, r sin theta into r dr d theta, right? So value of x, the value of y, and the value of dx dy. So here we'll first perform the integration with respect to theta. So it would be, here you have r cube, and with respect to theta we have cos theta and sin theta. So I can write this to be 1 by 2 into 2 sin theta cos theta. And what is 2 sin theta cos theta? That is equal to integration theta varying from 0 to pi by 2 also. So this quantity is equal to sine 2 theta, right? So 0 to 1, 1 by 2 could also be taken out. So we have sine 2 theta, and what is the integration of sine 2 theta? It is minus cos 2 theta divided by 2. So we have the limits of theta varying from 0 to pi by 2 dr. So this becomes equal to 3 by 4, and when you substitute the limits, cos of 2 into pi by 2, that is equal to, so you have cos of pi minus cos of 0, right, into r cube dr, and the integration is performed here with respect to r. So this quantity now becomes 3 upon 4. The value of cos pi, that is equal to minus 1, and the value of cos 0 is 1, so it is minus 2, so it is 2. So into 2, integration from r varying from 0 to 1, r cube dr. So this is 3 by 2 r to the power 4 by 4, and the limits of integration from 0 to 1. So we have 3 divided by 8 as the value of this surface integral. Similarly, we can have a look at one more question. This question says, so question number 2, this says we are to evaluate the surface integral over S of the quantity vector A n cap ds, where vector A is given to be equal to z I cap plus x j cap minus 3 y square z k cap, and S is the surface of the cylinder. This is the surface of the cylinder. X square plus y square is equal to 16, included in the first octant between z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 5. So this is our question. So here we are to calculate this surface integral, and here the surface is given by this cylinder. So first of all, let us draw the cylinder for the solution. the equations of cylinder, they are given to be x square plus y square is equal to 16 included in the first quadrant between z is equal to 0 to z is equal to 5, right? So this is the equation of cylinder. So our coordinate axis is this one. This is z axis, x axis, y axis and origin. So here first of all we'll draw this circle. X square plus y square is equal to 16. So I can write this to be x square plus y square is equal to 4 square. So that means this is a circle having center at 0, 0 and radius equal to 4. So that means we'll have the center of the circle here and radius as 4 units. So this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, not this above quantity is not 4, and this is 4, right? So our circle would be something like this in this xy plane. So it would be something like this. And on top of the circle, now here on this axis, the value of z is equal to 0 here. Suppose z is equal to 5 here. So at z is equal to 5, we will have another circle of this kind. So basically how a cylinder is formed when you draw several circles like this, joined together end to end. So that means we have a circle like this, having a straight line here. So it would be this and this. So this is our cylinder, right? Now what we are to do, we are to take the projection, we are to calculate this surface integral of a dot n vector ds, right? So first of all we require this n vector and then we will require what is the projection of this vector. So let us assume that let the given surface of cylinder, is given by the symbol phi. So phi x y z, this is equal to x square plus y square minus 16 is equal to 0. So according to that, because we wanted to calculate this n vector, so this n vector it would be equal to del phi divided by the magnitude of del phi. So what is the gradient of this vector? So it would be del phi by del x I cap plus del phi by del y j cap plus del phi by del z k cap. So this is equal to 2x I cap plus 2y j cap. So this is gradient phi. Now what would be the unit vector? The unit vector n would be del phi by the magnitude of del phi. So it would be 2x I cap plus 2y j cap divided by the square root of 2x whole square plus 2y whole square. So this would be equal to 2x I cap. In fact, this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So it would be x I cap plus y j cap divided by square root of x square plus y square. And what is square root of x square plus y square? That is equal to 4. That is equal to 16 and its square root is equal to 4. So we have x I cap plus y j cap divided by 4. So this is our vector n. Now for the projection of the given surface, what we can do here, we cannot take the projection onto this xy plane. Why? Because when you take the projection onto this xy plane, this whole surface is itself perpendicular to this xy plane. So instead we will take its projection over to this xz plane. So when you take the projection over to this xz plane, so what you are doing, you are taking the projection like this. So this is your plane here, and when you take the projection of this cylinder, suppose this is some portion on this cylinder of having del ds magnitude and unit vector is perpendicular here n vector. So when you take the projection of this part onto this xy plane, so it would be like this here, right? So this would be the projection. Now in order to take the projection here, our integral that becomes equal to over s of vector a dot n of ds, that becomes equal to integration over r vector a dot n dx dz divided by vector n dot vector j, right? Because we are now taking its projection onto xz plane, so it would be this quantity. Now we have all the values, so we can substitute it here. So it would be r, and it would be vector a. Vector a is what? This is given to us as the quantity z I cap plus x j cap minus 3 y square z k cap. This quantity dot with vector n. Vector n is this one. So you have x I cap plus y j cap divided by 4 into the quantity dx dz, and vector n dot with j, it would be this vector n dot with j, it would be y by 4. So this quantity would be y by 4, right? So here you have to first calculate this thing, and then you are to take its limits over here, and then you are to solve this particular integral. Okay, so in order to solve this integral, we are to calculate what are the limits over here. So for the limits, let's go back to our figure. Here we are to take the limits of dx, that means x, and dz, that means z. So for dx, now this varying from here to here, what is the value of x here? This is equal to 0, and what is the value of x here? X is equal to 4 here at this particular point, right? And we are to see what is the value of z in this particular direction in moving from here to here, right? So z is equal to 0 and here, and z is equal to 5 here. This is given in the question itself. So we got our limits here. So we can write it like this. So we have the limits for z is equal to 0 to 5, and the limits of x is equal to 0 to 4, right? Yes. And we can solve this when you take the dot product here. So you will have x z by 4 plus x y by 4, and you have the quantity 4 by y into dx dz. So this is what you have. The next step is just to solve this integration. So when you solve this integration, you will have the quantity z varying from 0 to 5, x varying from 0 to 4, and then xz by 4y. 4 and 4 will get cancelled, so you have y, plus here y and y, 4 and 4 will get cancelled, you have x, so you have dx and dz. So let's perform its integration with respect to x. So it would be z varying from 0 to 5 as such, dz as such, and then the integration here would be z upon y plus 1 into x square by 2, and the limits of x, they varying from 0 to 4. So basically you are left with the quantity z upon y plus 1 into, when you substitute 4 here, so it would be 16 by 2, that would be 8. When you substitute 0, you will have 0. So this is what you have. So that means you are to now perform the integration with respect to z. So this quantity will be equal to z square by 2y, because y will be treated as constant, plus z, and the limits of integration, they vary from 0 to 5. So this would be 8. Here when you substitute 5, you have 25 by 2y, right? And then you have plus z, and actually this y should not come up here in the answer, because this is also a variable quantity. So that means before solving the integration for z, we have to substitute the value of y as well, right? So this quantity will become integration of x varying from 0 to 4 x z. Now what is y? So we can calculate the value of y from this equation. X square plus y square is equal to 16. That means y is equal to 16 minus x square square root. So we have to substitute this value over here. So this would become xz divided by square root 16 minus x square plus x, right? dx and dz. So now we have to perform the integration with respect to x. So its integration, how can you solve that? You can substitute 16 minus x square as another quantity, so you have x into dx. So we will obtain here, this could be written as z varying from 0 to 5, x varying from 0 to 4, right? Z is constant, so it won't matter here. So you will have z as such, and then the integration of this quantity with respect to x, what would be that? That would be, when you substitute 16 minus x square is equal to t, you will have minus 2x dx is equal to dt. So that means the quantity x dx become equal to minus dt upon 2. So you have x dx is equal to minus dt by 2. So you have minus dt by 2 and you have into square root of t. So when you take the perform its integration over t, so it would become t to the power, this is actually t to the power minus 1 by 2. When you perform its integration, it becomes t to the power 1 by 2 divided by 2, right? And with a negative sign. So what was our t? So let me write down here the value directly. So we will obtain here So what do we obtain here? It would be 16 minus x square raised to power 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2, right, into minus 1 by 2. That 1 by 2, this is because of power, and this 1 by 2 is because of the quantity x dx, right? And here the limits of integration, they are from 0 to 4, dz would be as such. So this is after performing this integration. Okay, so we have z varying from 0 to 5. Now this 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 get cancelled, so we are left with z, and moreover we are to perform its integration also, x square by 2 and limits varying from 0 to 4. So after performing integration and after substituting the limits, this would become equal to, finally we will have 4z plus 8 here after solving all these things. So when you perform the integration here, it would be z square 2z square plus 8z, and you are to substitute the limits of z from 0 to 5. So when you substitute these limits, your final answer come out to be 90. So this is your answer. So I hope you understood this concept. In the next video, we shall be talking about volume integrals. So, well, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.